All right. Let's bow in again. Show me, right? Onegaishimasu. All right. I wrote a word on the board back there. Tsukomu. Tsukomu. And it means to shove. Okay, it's the verb for to shove. So, Amelia, let me borrow you first. Onegaishimasu. So we're all very familiar with a technique that ends in this position, and we call it what? KAITEN-NAGE, okay? So KAITEN-NAGE, is a very big, there's a lot of movements to KAITEN-NAGE. And so I still like this idea of getting to this position similar to KAITEN-NAGE. And the throw is very similar to KAITEN-NAGE. And for those of you who are newer, the throw is he's just going to slide his front foot forward a little bit, reach out with the same hand closest to the ground, and do a nice easy roll. A lot of us don't like KAITEN-NAGE because it's sort of cumbersome. So I want to do a couple of techniques today that end up there, but get there a little different way. Okay? As we're doing this, there's not a ton of room to roll. So let's do some line drills, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 line drills, groups, all rolling this way. And we're gonna change up pretty quickly. So let's just get through a few of these. Don't do any technique, just get your uke into this position. This is really their exercise to make sure that they know what they're doing and can fall safely. My arms are extended. I'm holding his wrist. I'm not trapped in here. When I do this, I'm putting myself in a pretty dangerous position for him to shoot in and tackle me, right? So I want to make sure that I have the arm extended. My other arm is extended, controlling the head. And then, just like I'm pushing a shopping cart, it's just a gentle push, not with my upper body, but with my hips. Okay, slide and step through. So let's just for a couple minutes take it nice and easy, slide and step through. I keep my feet sliding on the ground in this suriashi position. I don't like to lift my feet up. One, it's bad for balance, but two, if your partner has long hair, you could accidentally step on their hair. So try to slide your feet when you do this exercise. And again, you just reach with the hand that's closest to the ground. Keeping your arms straight. Most people accommodate when they do this. So they go to do KAITEN-NAGE, and the first thing they do is this. And now you've lost your leverage. Your levers are now half the length they were. And now you're pushing with your upper body instead of your lower body. So extension, soft. And step through. So let's start with that. 4 groups. And just practice just the roll. Rolling this way, and then come back to your same line. So there's no attack. There's no attack. We're just practicing the shove. Make sure everybody can roll safely. Just put your uke in that position. Make sure you're not hooking the elbow. Okay, everybody yame for 1 second, please, okay? So, we get used to things. We're used to doing KAITEN-NAGE a certain way, and then we just kind of default to what we're used to. So, no. Okay, it's not a pump. Your arms are all, by the time you get to what we're calling TSUKKOMU-NAGE, your arms are fully extended. There's no need to crank. And some people's shoulders, have limited range of motion. They can't do it. So, pretend you're at Costco, and you got your shopping cart out. Hopefully most of you guys don't do this at Costco, right? So, yeah, I suppose. So, you move with your hips, extension. My arms did nothing. They were already extended. Okay, please continue. Okay, yame, stay where you are. One more time. We're going to finish the rotation. We're about halfway through, I think. Everybody go like this. Pretend you do not have elbows. Okay, because everyone's accommodating. Accommodating is my big stink in Aikido. Everybody accommodates. They go to throw somebody, they collapse their body structure thinking that that's blending. It's not blending, it's accommodating. It's giving him the mechanical advantage. Your elbows do not stay there, Joe. I'll come up to you. You see that? The elbows do not bend. And not everybody has perfect shoulder rotation. So, there. See, the arms do not bend. All right, complete your rotations, please. All right, yame. So, Dan, please. So when you're driving through a new neighborhood, do you drive faster or slower? Depends. Hopefully it's slower, okay? If this is unfamiliar to you, don't try to do it fast. Go slow, all right? So let's turn this into an early sub techniques. Kata dori, here, okay? I don't stand there, as Alexei Sensei said, I don't stand there and wait for this to happen. Okay? As Dan enters, I'm coming out. So I've got an atemi immediately, and notice I've already got his wrist. Kata dori is not a great grip. So as long as I extend, I find myself gripping in just a millisecond. So out here in atemi. Now I'm going to find that head in tenkai. And I find myself in TSUKKOMU-NAGE. Step through. So it's kind of a truncated form of KAITEN-NAGE without the elaborate turning and cutting. And just kind of gets us there a little faster. So from here, once again, I'm going to come out here, find that head tenkai, and I don't find myself having to push down on Dan's neck because this lever comes in handy. Bend over for him, go like that. So he's fine. But I can facilitate that. There's a reason why police officers put your hands behind your back, because it's where you're anatomically weak. If I extend and move my hips, his head will go down because his shoulder has limited rotation capability, okay? So I'm going to blend atemi. Perhaps in this case I might hit him in the abdomen instead and facilitate that head forward. And I don't have to push on the neck. My hips drive the arm behind the back. And I find myself in this position. And now I have what we're calling TSUKKOMU-NAGE. So atemi here, a little less, boom. And finding the head, gently pivot and step through. So kata dori. Oh, I hit the head that time. Still works just fine. It's very similar to what Alexei was talking about. Alexei Sensei was talking about not using your arms, but using your hips and your body to move your partner. Atemi, abdomen, head, tenkai, slide step. Let's try it again. Mix up the lines and let's try this, please. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to learn something unorthodox. Heather, strike in the abdomen. Boom. Hit him in the abdomen. And ask Dave to lean forward a little bit. And imagine your elbows still do not bend. Okay, Yame for a second. Let's take another look at this. I see a lot of confusion. Corey? So as Corey-san grabs me, kata dori. So some of you guys are kind of like drawing, which is a typical Nikitsuke, and then there's a lot of, I'm not sure what to do, and right? Watch. That's it. I already have it. So I take my loser symbol. My loser symbol simply finds my own kata dori. Okay? If I tag him here, now Corey's shorter than me. Tenkai, full extension, TSUKKOMU-NAGE. So if we need to, drive out. His grip gets quite weak because of the inherent weakness of your grip. So as I drive almost a yonkyo this way, I find myself in control. I've got atemi here or here. Low is probably better. Tenkai. I don't have to worry, come on up. I don't have to worry about pushing down his neck. He can resist this because he's got all this musculature down here. But if I just drive this back, he finds himself in ikkyo-like position. Okay? So grab the wrist from the get-go. You can do that, but that's KAITEN-NAGE. Sorry, Joe. Come on up. So you can do this very sort of typical KAITEN-NAGE, but just enter and drive back. You're already there. It's much shorter, less superfluous. Okay? Learning to undo what we already know is tough. Be willing to learn new things. Yep, no need, no need. Even easier than that. Good. There's so little to do, Evelyn, it escapes most people. RJ, please. RJ? There's so little to do that people get confused. I'm done. See that? I already have the wrist. I don't pull on the head because he's stronger than me. I tenkai, and down comes his posture. Okay? Grab that wrist, Evelyn. Pretty good. Laura, may I borrow you? So, as she grabs me, if I move and she doesn't, I'm wasting energy. So I need to move and see how she starts to stumble toward me, right? So if I move and you don't, I haven't achieved anything. So draw enough outside that I create kuzushi in her spine. Okay? Okay, Yame. So hopefully everybody got to throw a few times. Dan, where'd you go? Can I borrow you, Dan? Okay. So tell you what, before we move on, let's go into pairs and practice this. Boy, learning new stuff is hard, right? Everybody has this tendency, they want to go under or they want to go over, and it's in between. It's just find the wrist. Now I have kata dori, okay? Temi, boom, right here. Moving off the line and a temi, moving off the line and a temi. See, Dan and I are the same height, but after I nukitsuke and draw and tenkai, I have the dominant position. So pair up, we'll do this for just 2 minutes. Here or here. Extension in. No throwing, in pairs. Practice and make sure you become comfortable with this grab. Okay? And you can practice moving your hips, not bending your arm, but moving your hips, bringing his hand behind his back, and he'll put himself in this position because he doesn't have any more range of motion. Okay? A couple minutes. Partner up. No throwing, please. No throwing. Grab. Grab. You're not grabbing. Grab. So it works in a dojo, but in the real world, it's not going to happen. So the grab's important. Temi. I have this. If I need to, I could just do an ude kime of sorts. Here. But I have to have control. This won't cut it. Okay? Good. Oh. Good. Okay, Yame. So we're going to stick with TSUKKOMU-NAGE, but let's apply it differently. This time if Dan gives me a forward, let's do the other side first. Forward foot jab, right here. And remember, if he just jabs and stands still, I don't have anything to do. A true attack has a quality of overcommitment to it unless you're in a ring, right? So as Dan comes in, we're going to perform uke nagashi surasute, right? A deflecting hand block here, and tenkan. So perhaps some of you haven't done this before. What I'm doing is I'm basically pivoting the palm of my hand, bringing the elbow up in a perpendicular manner to his attack as I irimi tenkan behind him. This irimi tenkan is slide turn, not step turn, here. So a lot of us haven't done this before. So we're just going to start with this uke nagashi. A lot of people try to go parallel. That's not going to work because obviously he's just going to break through. So as he's coming through, I want to make sure I end up with this perpendicular position as I turn. If you haven't done this before, we're going to do it real slowly. Partner up and let's try uke nagashi, please, from a front jab. Good. Your first point of contact is perpendicular. So the first point is here, right? The likelihood of me sort of here, the most likely outcome is this, especially at full force, full speed. So, there. Okay? Nice. Oh, we're getting to that. Okay, Yame, stay where you are. Stay where you are. So, a couple of things. Dan, where'd you go? So we get into habits in Aikido, and so when you're new, we always attack off the back foot hand, at least some schools do. Again, front jab, and it has to be to the face, not to the abdomen, okay? Front foot jab. It's shorter, it has half the time. If he punches off the back foot, I have twice the amount of time to see it coming and respond. So this is what makes this difficult, is that it's a front foot jab. Here, all I'm doing is irimi and tenkan. That's it. Do not trap their hand. Do not change the trajectory of their punch. Okay? Yep. See, I'm not changing his hand. So it's not about this. Okay? Change partners and try it again. 2 more minutes. Go slower, guys. Go slower. Good. One more time. Even slower. Same side. And so notice that you're parallel to her. That's dangerous. Get your elbow up so that there's a broad surface to deflect. Jab me. Anything parallel is going to be dangerous this way or this way. So I want perpendicularity here. I've got this entire broad surface to block with. Slow motion, it's easy. Fast, your aim goes out the window. Okay? Okay, Yame. So let's go back to TSUKKOMU-NAGE from here, okay? So, and again, this is new. You're in a new neighborhood, drive slowly. Don't speed up on a road you're not familiar with. Here's an atemi, by the way. Trap that hand, and we have TSUKKOMU-NAGE once more, okay? Which hand was that? Okay. So ukenagashi, there's an atemi here, cutting down, grabbing the wrist, tenkai, and throw. Turn, strike, if necessary, cutting. TSUKKOMU-NAGE. Not quite KAITEN-NAGE, but TSUKKOMU. Here. Atemi, as I cut down, control his head, and throw. Try to break one's tendency to want to be here. Again, it puts me in a very dangerous position outside of an Aikido dojo, because he'll just tackle my legs. So I want to end up cutting down to where we were earlier and TSUKKOMU-NAGE. Please go slow. Nobody get popped in the back of the head, okay? Nice and soft. Other arm. Hang on. So, watch this. Ready, Nobu? So, here. Here. Strike and throw. Elbow, cut, and throw. Okay? Okay, Yame, I know some people didn't get a chance to throw, but we're going to try to squeeze one more in. This last one is a little bit easier, okay? Dan, please. By the way, has anybody ever been in a Marvel movie before? No? Okay, so be very careful with this at any Aikido technique. As Dan jabs, this is impossible. Please don't do that, right? All sorts of times people are like, yeah, kotegaeshi, or, you can't catch a punch. That's what the broad surface of the forearm is for. If Dan gives me any speed, I'm not going to be able to catch that. So as he punches, just avoid any desire to grab the fist, okay? I see that from time to time. So when we do randori, we often call it zombie attack, right? When somebody grabs you, Jyo katadori. So as Dan comes to get me, don't mess up my mic, okay? All right, as Dan comes in to grab me, we have that very sort of typical, up and down of the elbows. I've never been comfortable with that because my face is so exposed, okay? I've just never liked this idea that he's grabbing my collar, I'm grabbing his elbows, I just feel so exposed. So we can do TSUKKOMU-NAGE in this same traditional randori style attack here, where I'm sort of playing peekaboo. I got my arms up because I'm defending myself. I'm picking a side and I find myself in this position, which I find a lot more protective. Now I grab. And TSUKKOMU-NAGE once more. Pick a side. Okay, and if that's an atemi, it's an atemi. Dan's coming at me, I'm going to come in here. See how he's moving his head out of the way? Smart. Right? It only takes one repetition to learn that. Tenkai and TSUKKOMU-NAGE. So let's do this. Go slow because it's new for most of us. Here. Again, I can't catch a punch. I can't, may or may not be successful grabbing a finger. We're going to go to the other side. Okay, pick a side. And then once again, TSUKKOMU-NAGE, behind his back. This time I have a different grip. And shove. Lines, please. Let's warm down with that. Everybody throw 4 times. Ryo katadori TSUKKOMU-NAGE. Yes, one side, one side. Yes. Pivot, pivot. Up, he's standing up. Where should this be? This should be back here. Now, if I lift up his arm, his head goes down. Kuzushi. Okay? See, this doesn't put me in Kuzushi. This does. So it's not this, but the other way around.
Sorry, Sam.
Still grab the wrist. Don't end up in the elbow. Grab the wrist. You have control in the wrist. Okay, Yame, very nice. Okay, we're out of time. Dan, can I borrow you for 1 second, please? So, I just mentioned it to one of the other groups. As Dan comes in to get me, it's not like this nice little casual, here. Your tenkai, your pivot motion, is the source of the kuzushi. So you have to snap your hips to create that uke kuzushi, all right? All right, let's get ready for Nakamura Sensei's class. We'll take another true 2-minute break. And we'll start with Nakamura Sensei at that time. I hope you guys got something different out of what we just did. A lot of people just go to seminars, do the same old things, never learn anything. I mean, not never learn anything. They never get challenged to learn something new. I hope you got something out of that, and we'll give it some thought. Right? Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. 2-minute break.